team selected and a program derived in the last 1 or 2 hours after Swami asked. He asked the previous day for the next day, so it's going to be a night out, but that's quite common for those who know Prashantanalayam and how it works. So all of the night the practice went on, and I had a particular role in that play. This was the second time we were doing not the same play, but the same role between me and the other gentleman. So the other friend of mine is Ranganatha Raju. Many of you might have heard of him. He's an ardent devotee of Swami. He's in Bangalore right now doing wonderful things with the Satya Sai organization in Andhra Pradesh. And the other person is me, who has no credentials at all. So both of us had done a similar role of exactly what we're going to do tomorrow. That is, he would play my father and I would play his son. And the theme always revolved around me being not so good to start with, and my father saying some nice things and I getting transformed by the end of the play. This has been the theme with both of us acting a couple of times in the past as well. And this opportunity, when we got, someone said this has been a successful pair with both of you, so you guys should come back and do something similar, but fitting today's theme and today's context. So we said, okay, we can do it. So we both are chosen to do the play. He's much shorter than me as well, but he is still my father, so probably that also adds to the fun element. So every time we go up on the stage, the old ladies, when I say old ladies, that's called the old ladies block in Prashantanalayam. They sit somewhere quite in front of the Ganesha statue on the ladies' side. And they start to recognize us as a pair, and there is some acknowledgement you get from the audience, especially the old ladies. They speak loudly, they start clapping all of a sudden. They have some allowances that they can do since they're old. So every time we go up, we get this acknowledgement, and even this time, as soon as we got up, we got that acknowledgement, and I got a bit carried away with it because, yeah, now people start recognizing you. This is Prashantanalayam, nearly 30,000 people in audience. Swami is sitting behind you and people are recognizing you. So that thing starts getting into your head. And of course, for someone like me, it gets faster than any one of you probably. So on this day, we were chosen. We are fully ready to take this play, and the next morning, we were there. Even before the play started, this is very interesting. Even before the play started, Swami, as he finished his darshan, he asked the boys in the front, how many boys are doing the play? And then I was sitting one of the front lines, and like I said in the morning, I always think I know what Swami is going to ask. So I was prepared for this question, nobody else was. So I was right, what I said in the morning, I'm sorry. So I was ready with this answer. For some reason, I felt like I should count and be ready, just in case Swami asks. And Swami's first question is, how many students in the play? And though I wasn't the very first one that Swami was facing, I was a couple of boys away, but I knew the answer and I could hear the question. I got up and said, Swami, 13. Chi, bad number, and he leaves. He says, no, bad number. So there is no literal translation for chi, but he was not extremely happy. Oh, here I'm thinking, don't get into the detail of why Swami said 13 is a bad number. Probably he was trying to teach something else, so let's not go there. But the point I'm trying to make is, Swami asks this question and goes into the interview room and does not come back for very long. This play is scheduled and the time is ticking. As you know, Swami should go back by 6 or so, and it's already 3:30 or 4:30, and this is an hour play. So now I am beginning to get tensed once again. I should have just shut my mouth because nobody else knew the answer. He wouldn't have got a good answer, or somebody would have guessed 12 or 14 or 10, and he would have left. And then he would have come back immediately after to watch the play. Now, since I said 13, he probably is not going to come back. So I was feeling very guilty that I answered this question. But then I counted once again, including myself, and it came exactly to 13. So I was at least happy that, Swami, I told the right answer. I'm sorry you did not like it. And Swami comes back after 15 minutes. And then he asks again, how many boys are in the play? Now this time I had 15 minutes. So I did some homework, and I've been thinking, I've been reflecting. I should give a better answer if I get an opportunity, or I should write a letter with something else. And this time I got up and said, Swami, 14. Swami asked, 13 అని చెప్పావు? You said 13? Swami, 13, all of us, plus you, so 14 total. Swami laughed and he sat there and asked us to start the play. So again, the reason I asked you not to get into why 13, but concentrate on what could be really beneficial for us as a lesson, is to include Bhagavan in every number of us. And teach our kids to do that too. We are not 4 of us, we are 5 including Swami. That will go a long way with the kid to nurture themselves to think that Swami is my friend, Swami is my God, Swami is with me. That will really develop their confidence and strength and will go a long way. So back to the play, then Swami sits there, thank you. Swami sits there and he starts, he asks us to start the play, and then there were a few of us go up and give him a rose. That's the tradition before you start a play, and Swami asks us to start the play. And like I said, now I have had this good energy even before I start the play, so I am on cloud 9 already, because Swami asked me once, Swami asked me twice, and the second time I made him laugh. So now imagine how what I am going through as I'm sitting, though my role was like a 2-minute role or something in that 1-hour play. But I was feeling very, very confident about myself, and I had a lot of costume on myself. So I was not like a social character wearing white and white like other boys, but I had a lot of makeup and everything else. I was made to sit in the front to make the whole play more attractive, so when Swami sees, he knows for sure there is a play and so on. So I'm sitting in the front, and this thing has got into my head, and as we got up, it's 15-20 minutes into the play, like I said, the old ladies acknowledged us, and there was some sigh in the audience that made me feel even more good now that, yeah, people recognize my avatar, not the Sai avatar, but my avatar. And that's where, remember the point I made in the morning about creator and creation. Every time you get caught in the quagmire of creation, he brings you back. He teaches you a lesson. He teaches you a lesson so hard that you will never forget that you have to cling on to the creator. There is nothing with the creation. Even if there is some attraction towards the creation, do not substitute that with the creator. So make sure he has a direct line with you always, and do not miss the ball trying to hit here or there. So here is where I am. Here I am standing up to do my role. And as I start to say, like I said, 2-minute role, or maybe 2.5 minutes, I'm 1 minute into my dialogues, and people started to enjoy as I am talking. At least that's what I am feeling. Nobody told me, but that's what I see. Everybody's happy, everybody's appreciative of my costume, maybe the way I am moving. This is exactly what is going on in my head. And as I was delivering one of my punch dialogues, as it is, so I have to stress it and say, I guess the dialogue is, if I remember it right, Swami Anugraham unte Navagraham cannot do anything to you. So all the Navagrahas cannot do, 9 planets cannot do anything to you if Swami's divine grace is what you have, or something like that. So I was saying that dialogue, and as I was saying, this is a positive dialogue, so you expect smiles and appreciation from the audience, but instead, everybody in my view had quite a strange look on their face. It isn't syncing with what I'm saying. So for a minute I felt maybe, because these are all pre-recorded, so maybe the recording isn't going with what exactly, so I couldn't hear very well, so I'm concentrating to it. But none of it is true. There is some strange reaction that everybody is going through, which then for a minute I thought maybe my costume has come off somewhere, or I'm looking funny, and now, but it's none of it. It's getting weirder and weirder as I see people having these strange expressions, and some in shock, some in surprise, all of this. And then I realized it's not me, it's probably something going on behind me. By now, I've completely turned my back to Swami, and I was doing this wonderful performance for 2.5 minutes. So, and then I figured out there must be something going on behind me. And as I turn, Swami has asked the boys around him to take him back to the interview room. This is absolutely unusual. It never happens that Swami leaves during a play. There have been occasions of Swami in physical pain that he sat through place because people have put play in front of him, people have brought with a lot of love, people have prepared for very long. This is usually the episodes that you would hear or read everywhere. That Swami is sitting, though he is physically in pain, because you have come to put a play. But this is exactly the opposite that day. There is a play going on, and there is a character saying his dialogues, and Swami decides to leave unannounced without saying a thing. He didn't say stop. And as I look back, by then already Swami is half his way back into the auditorium, into the interview room. So I am still in all of my emotion with all my hands and legs up. What should I do? The recording is paused, and I have paused also, and whatever is the good pose, I thought I could stay for some time. And there is no instruction given to me as to what should I do next, because nobody has seen that thing before. Neither have we rehearsed, or neither have we ever thought, if this happens, what could we do? What is the best thing to do? Should we pause the play? Or should we continue the play because Swami has not asked us to stop? Or should I finish my dialogues and then sit? Or Swami will watch with his divine eye, but the audience should have a flow, so should we continue? What is the next step? Nobody had a clue. So someone said to me, or I decided myself, I sat down. We all were, of course, sad, and we were expecting Swami to come back. Maybe he just needed to take a break. But he never came back. This was 4:30 or 4:45 or so. Until 5:30, the bhajan started at around 5 or so, and they completely were over in 30 minutes, and he still did not come back from interview room, and there was no one else with him in the interview room, so he was all by himself. Even more strange. And after 10 minutes or so, after the bhajans are complete, he comes out, walks, in his chair, goes straight back to the residence without saying another word. There is no intimation as to what should this play be done, what happened with Swami, did something was told that is not in good taste. What happened? Usually these are plays put by students, so they are very well vetted by experts and who have seen Swami with a lot of experience, and everything is quote unquote Swami in Swami's taste. So we all have seen with some experience what is best to be put in front of Swami. But this is what happens. In days past, so many people have consoled us, everybody's crying there, and as you can now understand, I've been crying inconsolably. I once again decided that I will not eat forever. Meaning I started eating the next day. But I haven't eaten that day. So I cried, and I felt very bad to myself, and I was seeking for an answer. Days passed, months passed. This is in October, Dashara. October, November, December, there were many plays put from that day till the day I'm coming to. Every time people have asked me, and they have given me an opportunity, since that's going to be my final year as well. But I have refused, and sometimes with very heavy heart, saying probably something wrong that I have done, for which reason Swami has decided to go in between a play which never happened before. So I do not want this to happen to your play as well. If I am part of your play also might be disturbed, and Swami might not like it, or Swami might start to go, and it's not good for the entire crew, so I will step back. So I haven't taken part in any play since, or whatever be the program that's going on in Prashantanilayam, for all of October, of course, November, December, January, February, March, almost March, which is when the Ugadi, this is 2007, the Ugadi celebrations, and that is Sarvajit Nama Samvatsara. That was a year in the Telugu calendar called the Sarvajit year. And it's famously also known for the Indian cricketer VVS Lakshman happened to be there. He brought his little kid, and Swami named the little one Sarvajit by the year. The name of the year and the name of the little boy happened to be the same. That's a side note. But then on that day, of course, once again, students have a chance to put a play in front of Swami, being a special day, being a special occasion. And being a Telugu, of course, it also is a new year for many other states as well. Telugu being one of them, and since we are in Puttaparthi, the audience majority of them are Telugu. So there is an interest for play in Telugu in Prashantanilayam that day in front of Swami. Since it's in Telugu, somebody said, this boy speaks good Telugu, so bring him on, somehow ask him. So the student said, no, he will not come. We've tried many times. So nobody asked me for some time, until the warden intervened and asked why I was not part of it. And somehow, cut the long story short, the warden intervened. He talked to me personally. He said, no, you should not think like this. This isn't good. I didn't know all the while that this is why you're staying back. No, with Swami, it never is the case. You should go. And this, now I have, in my head, sacrificed quite a lot, and now I am a hero. Now coming back and giving everybody an opportunity to play with me. So I was telling everyone, no, I do not want to be there, but since you're all forcing me, I will still participate. But make sure, my words were that, but Swami hates me, remember that. And Swami might start hating all of you also at the end of this play today. These were my words to everyone that night as we practiced. But then, of course, we practiced very well. Since I was not part of the play for very long, they gave me an opportunity to go with the rose again, though my role in itself was very little. And the next day, I go sit in darshan, and I take the rose and go to Swami and give it to him. And I was also having the opportunity to tell him what the play is about. We made a beautiful greeting card and was telling. And as I was showing Swami the greeting card and was talking about it, he did not seem like he was interested in what I was showing him and what I was telling him, but instead he wanted to tell me something. So I figured that out. I stopped explaining the card and looked at Swami for something for him to tell. And then he looks at me, leans towards me, puts his hand on my shoulder and says, Bangaru, Swamiki evvari meeda dvesham ledu. Prema, 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 prema. He says, Swami says, Bangaru, Swami does not hate anyone. Only love, love, love and love. The omnipresence of Lord. The love of Lord. Now, the best explanation, if you have to, to complete the story that I have received as to why Swami had to leave in between a play, it's probably this. This is what I want to settle down with, because this is the best thing I have heard. Is Swami has taken liberty. Swami, you know, Swami's personality is to sit through sessions painfully because he wants to please his devotees. He wants to make sure you do not feel bad about Swami leaving. But here is Swami deciding to leave. So which means Swami has taken the liberty to get up and walk during your play because he thought, as his devotee, would understand that he needed to go and there is something more important for him to do. Now, all of us also, at many points in time, when we pray to God, we feel God has walked back on us. He did not care for me. There was an opportunity for him to help me here, here, and here, and here, but he did not take any of those. So he hates me, or he does not like me, or I have not done enough to deserve of his attention. Could be our immediate conclusion, but then if you go back to what we have seen in this episode, it is that Swami has chosen you to take liberty because he thought you as a devotee of his will understand that yes, you need to go through this for some reason, or probably going through this is best for you than Swami solving it right now for you. We could talk of Swami's omnipresence for hours and days and ages, as much as we could spend time on. The best thing I have heard sitting at Swami's lotus feet, many talks by many great devotees, is that there is always three great things that happen to every one of us every time we come in contact with Swami or Swami's organization. Like in Swami's own words, he said, he asked a group of students, what is the rarest phenomenon in this world? In this universe, in fact, that's Swami's word, Vishwam. And then, of course, students would go, Swami, it's Sakshatkar, it's you, it's me, it's you and me together, it's you with the Sai mission, it's the drinking water project, it's the hospital, and it's so on and so forth. Swami said, every one of you is wrong. The rarest phenomenon in this world, in this universe, is to know that avatar exists. He said, even rarer than the knowledge that avatar exists, and avatar has come down on earth, is to be contemporary of the avatar. You need to walk on earth at the same time God has walked on earth. If you look back, I'm sure all of us have read a lot and listened a lot. How many people have seen when Rama was there, or Krishna when Krishna was there, Jesus when Jesus was there? Handful. How many have been associated with their mission? Even little. So avatar and avatars come and gone. This is how it is. Swami has himself explained in his own words. When someone asked him, Swami, when you, the avatar of the ages, come down, why isn't the whole world at your feet? Swami said, this has always been the case. This avatar is meant for a chosen few. So going back to the Swami's answer on rarest of the phenomenon, Swami said the rarity, the sequence of it is, he said, knowing that there is avatar, to be contemporary of the avatar, and to be associated, even rarer than being the contemporary of the avatar, is to be associated with the avatar's organization and avatar's mission. We all must count our blessings, for they have been for many lifetimes, for even being able to call ourselves Sai devotee. If I am standing up here and speaking today, or you're sitting there and listening, or any activity, any role that we play in this organization, it's all zero if we do not add the word Sai before it. There is absolutely no significance to anything else that you do if you do not add his name to any of the activity that we do. It's adding that name that gives us the glory, that gives us importance, that gives us who we are, that gives us a meaning to who and what we are. So the rarest of the phenomenon in the universe is to be associated with Bhagavan's organization. And with this, I will stop for today, and thanking Swami for giving us all this opportunity to be associated with his name, with his organization. And let's be grateful forever for giving us this opportunity to be called Sai devotees today and once for all. Jai Sai Ram.